Hello, and welcome to our presentation on England. Group members contributing to this assignment are Carrie Kelly, which is myself, Morgan Huffman, and Callie Dollahite. On the first slide, you will see two pictures. One is the map of England, and then also England's flag. The Kingdom of England was a state on the island of Great Britain from the 10th century when it emerged following the unification of various Anglo-Saxon kingdoms until 1707 when it united with Scotland to form a unified Kingdom of Great Britain. England has been invaded and ruled by various groups. These various groups include the Celts from Central Europe, the Romans from Central Italy, the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes from Northern Germany, the Vikings from Scandinavia, and the Normans. The country has been ruled by numerous kings and queens and has thrived throughout its rich history. The capital city and largest metropolitan area is London. The other major cities in England are Birmingham, Sheffield, Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Newcastle, Bradford, and Nottingham. England's population totals 53.01 million. The population of London is 12 million. Birmingham and Manchester are 2.5 million. Liverpool is 1.3 million, and Nottingham is 0.75 million. England's highest peak is Scafell Pike, and its lowest elevation is Fenland. The longest river entirely in England is the Thames. There are many lakes in England. The largest is Windermere within the aptly named Lake District. The Pennines, known as the backbone of England, are the oldest range of mountains in the country. The Pennine landscape is high moorland and upland areas indented by fertile valleys of the region's rivers. They contain 3 national parks: the Yorkshire Dales, Northumberland, and the Peak District. England has several uninhabited islands. These are known as the islands of Northumberland, Cornwall, and the River Thames. England has a temperate maritime climate. It is mild with temperatures not much lower than 32 degrees Fahrenheit in winter and not much higher than 90 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. The weather is damp relatively frequently and is changeable. The coldest months are January and February, the latter particularly on the English coast, while July is normally the warmest month. Months with mild to warm weather are May, June, September, and October. Rainfall is spread fairly evenly throughout the year. Important influences on the climate of England are its proximity to the Atlantic Ocean, its northern latitude, and the warming of the sea by the Gulf Stream. The primary language spoken in England is English. 98% of the population in England speaks English. The second most spoken language in England is Polish. 1% of English citizens speak Polish. The primary religion in England is Christianity. 71.6% of the population identifies with this religious classification. 2.7% of the population is Muslim and 1% are Hindu. 21.3% claim to be unspecified or completely absent from any type of religion. Hofstede power distance dimension is defined as the level of acceptance by a society of the unequal distribution of power and institutions. In this dimension, societies are ranked on a scale of 1 to 100 on how they handle inequalities among people. A high power distance score shows hierarchical order as being acceptable, while a low power distance score shows a society that thrives for equal power. England and the US both rank on the lower end, representing a society that accepts equal power distribution. Globe's humane orientation measures the extent to which society encourages and rewards people for being fair, generous, kind, and caring. With a score range of 1 to 7, England and the US both score on the higher end of the Globe scale, indicating outstanding leadership in a society that is concerned about the welfare of others. England also shows great respect when it comes to business communication, allowing senior ranked individuals to do most of the speaking when present. If the ranks present are equals, the communication is more open and free-flowing. On Hofstede's scale for masculinity and femininity, England scored a 66, making them a predominantly masculine society. When it comes to the British culture, it is important not to judge a book by its cover, because what is on the surface isn't always the whole story. Picturing England as a masculine society can be difficult to do based off of their culture of modesty and understatement, according to Hofstede. England's Globe score for assertiveness was 3.70, which put them pretty much in the middle of the scale. Assertiveness can be defined as the degree to which individuals are assertive, confrontational, and aggressive in their relationships with others. A country with a low level of assertiveness is most likely to live in harmony with the surrounding environment, value caring relationships, and expect subordinates to stay loyal and kind. A country with a high level of assertiveness tends to communicate in a direct, formal manner, is competitive, and produces a high level of success. The form of government in England is a constitutional monarchy, which consists of the monarch head of state, Queen Elizabeth II, and a parliamentary system that is run by the Prime Minister, David Cameron. There are many political parties in England, with three major political parties, which are the Conservative, Labour, and Liberal Democrat parties. Just like the United States, the legal voting age in England is 18 years of age. However, the Labour Party has planned to try to lower the voting age down to 16 years of age in 2015. The legal system in England is comprised of common law and equity law. Common law in England is based on custom and interpreted in court cases by judges. Equity law is comprised of a body of historic rules and principles which are applied by the courts. Labor unions are very popular in England, with more than 26% of employed citizens belonging to a labor union. Union density is much higher in the public sector than in the private sector. While there are several labor unions for citizens to choose from, the top three labor unions in England are Unite, Unison, and GMB. The United Kingdom, or Great Britain, and Northern Ireland's date of admission into the United Nations took place on October 24, 1945. On January 1, 1948, the United Kingdom became a GATT contracting party. On January 1, 1995, WTO replaced GATT and became the organization that oversees the multilateral trading system. Other international organizations that the United Kingdom is a part of, including NATO, Euro-Atlantic Partnership Council, Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, and the World Bank. The UN representative is Sir Mark Lyle-Gant, who is the ambassador and permanent representative of the UK mission to the UN. The UK ambassador to the United States is Matthew W. Barzun, who was sworn in on August 15, 2013. The UK maintains an embassy in the United States that is located at 3100 Massachusetts Avenue in Washington, D.C. The United Kingdom does enjoy a favored nation status with the U.S. and is one of the United States' closest allies. British foreign policy emphasizes very close coordination with the U.S. due to their past alliances and support. The arts are a popular source of entertainment in England. Some of the most popular music genres in England consist of pop, funk, rock and roll, heavy metal, and R&B. Britain is also home to some of the most famous musicians of all time, including the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Elton John, and the Rolling Stones. Some of the most well-known films also come from England and include The Third Man, Billy Elliot, and Phantom of the Opera. England hosts a variety of sightseeing options and major tourist attractions. Stonehenge is the #1 tourist attraction in England, with the stones believed to be dating back to 2500 BC. The second most popular tourist attraction in England is Big Ben, which is located in London. The #3 most popular tourist destination is Windsor Castle. Here, tourists can visit a majority of the castle, including St. George Cathedral. Just as in many other countries, sports are a favorite leisure time activity. England's national sport is cricket, although the most popular sport is football, also known as soccer, in other parts of the world. Some of the most famous soccer athletes are from England and include the worldwide well-known soccer player and celebrity David Beckham. England has also been host to the 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games held in London. In 2013, the total population for the United Kingdom was 63,136,000. In England, common foods consist mostly of meat and potatoes, along with 1 or 2 vegetables. This sounds very similar to what we like here in the South. In England, they are very fond of different types of pies, such as shepherd's pie and cottage pie. The famous fish and chips are also a very popular menu item in England, which are typically purchased at a fish and chip shop called Chippies. At a chippy, the customer can eat at the shop or take it on the go. Another popular food item is referred to as bangers and mash, which is really just a seasoned sausage with a type of mashed potatoes. When it comes to English breakfast, I think it's safe to say we have all heard of this. In England, a true English breakfast consists of eggs, bacon, sausages, fried bread, mushrooms, and baked beans. In America, we tend to leave out the mushroom and baked beans and usually replace them with a starch like hash browns or cheese grits. The most common beverage in England is, of course, tea. A whopping 165 million cups of tea are consumed in England every single day. It is a known fact that most Europeans enjoy their tea very strong and dark, with lots of milk in it as well. Surprisingly, coffee has become just as popular in England as tea is. When it comes to alcoholic beverages, wine and a beverage called bitter are the most popular. Bitter is a type of ale that tends to be very dark and much heavier than most lagers. Some of England's main agriculture includes wheat, barley, corn, rye, oats, rapeseeds, potatoes, sugar beet, legumes, apples, pears, and so on. Livestock and milk production are both very popular in England, especially because England is famous for special beef brands that are raised by long-established farmers. England's top 3 trading partners are the United States, Germany, and the Netherlands for imports and exports. A few of their top imported items include heavy machinery, electronic equipment, and engines, and so many more. Some of their top exported items include cars, refined and crude petroleum, and aircraft parts, amongst many others.